any issues in respect of the need for more oil would be guided by them.
How significant was the life and legacy of Desmond Tutu?
I think it would be very hard to find a life more significant than Desmond Tutu, not only for South Africa but for the world. Even his image today conjures a sense of his grace, the peace that he emitted in a world of today's geopolitical challenges. It's even more relevant. So I find that his message of unity, of peace, of peaceful protest, those are all quite relevant today, including the peaceful resolution of disputes.
And what lessons can we apply from his life to Jamaica?
Oh, standing up for your rights, peacefully resolving disputes, respecting one another, recognizing that nations can overcome even the greatest of challenges once they are unified. Those are all, I think, critical messages that we could hold in our hearts today.
Jamaica had made its presence known on the international system as the first country to sanction South Africa. Given that our foreign policy is particularly rooted in standing up for oppressed people, and in light of the fact that Antigua and Bahamas have recently sanctioned Russia, is Kingston considering taking that approach in its foreign policy?
Sanctions and Jamaica's position on sanctions is always guided by the UN Security Council position. And as you know, they have not approved any sanction in respect of the matters that's before the world's or at the forefront of the world's minds at this point in time. And accordingly, we have not taken any position in that regard.
Okay. Honestly, Minister, has sanctions on Russia now, has it impacted Jamaica in any way, whether it be new serious or any other unforeseen circumstances?
Not at this time. Not rather, I would say, beyond the general uncertainty that the world is having to be very vigilant and sensitive to in respect of global supply chains and movements of money, but in terms of direct impact on Jamaica and Jamaican companies, we have not yet had it.
And in terms of, as you had shared, in terms of some of the supply chain disruptions, is Jamaica reaching out with its partners, if there are any strategies that can be done to limit prices in certain areas?
We are always, we've been very vigilant in this matter. And as you may well know, the issue of food security and agri-food security and agri-technology has been high on the priority list of CARICOM and of Jamaica for some time. And in fact, so even before this, it's something that we have been working at. How do we import less? How do we become more self-sufficient in matters related to poultry, feed, the production of meat, as well as our vegetables and local food stuff. So we are continuing to engage with Guyana and with other countries within the CARICOM region as to how we can build sufficiency, self-sufficiency, as well as cooperative sufficiency within the region.
And we also saw an article that came out in today's paper about CARICOM potentially should look for sources of oil in the region. Is that a position that you're currently considering as well?
Well, Guyana doesn't have oil at this point in time that it is free to sell because of the arrangements with which it entered, or the bases on which it entered into its mining and exploration and exploitation contracts. So we have engaged with them, but right now we continue to get our supplies from Brazil, Colombia, and I believe there is some from, even a small amount from Barbados. I think it's something like 20,000 gallons that we take from Barbados. We buy from Nigeria in terms of LNG, and we have supplies lined up in that regard, including storage that we have offshore in another island in the Caribbean. So our supplies, as you've heard from Mr. Watson at Petrojam, are in fact secure. So we continue to work with the relations that we have, and we're seeking to deepen the relations with Nigeria, coming out of my last visit there, where we held a joint commission, and we're now pursuing new arrangements with Nigeria and the National Petroleum Corporation of Nigeria to have further uplift with them.